Hey everyone, Sigma here, and welcome to Friday Electronic Esoterica 3. Uh, if it ain't Friday, guess what? It's Friday somewhere. Wait, you guys are saying it's not necessarily Friday somewhere if it's like a Monday? Oh, I guess I'm just an idiot then. Okay. Anyway, today we're going to be looking at the Tower of Dreams. This is going to be a VRMMO style project. Though the graphics, obviously, that I'm presenting right now are not representative of that. But you know, you just gotta roll with it. Uh, Anyways, we're not gonna be looking at gameplay right now because, well, to be honest, no one wants to see me go through 20 minutes of rotations, alright? Boring as hell. So we're gonna look around the hub. This is the hub for floors 46 to 50, right before the hardest fight in the game that no one's cleared yet, for obvious reasons. And, actually, you know what? I'll show it off a little bit. You'll see what's interesting about the game as I do. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is talk to Anna, look at the shop. You might be thinking, why? Well, for one thing, look at the extent of the shop. Now, you might be thinking that some of these items later on are outmoding the earlier ones, and to a certain extent, you might be right. But generally speaking, mostly items can stay relevant, especially some of the, you know, critical ones that I'll show off in a bit. But, hold on one second. Fish, is that you? Sorry about that, guys. I thought I heard my cat doing some weird stuff. Anyway, yeah, so let's get into the swords. So swords, you know, you got the two basic power fantasies of swords, which is to kill stuff a lot, you know, breaking defense, having bonus critical, and then you got magic swords, which everyone likes, which is, you know, you can like shoot lightning from your sword, heal with it. That's actually pretty useful if you have like someone who doesn't want to play a healer at all and you just want to use sword. Just trick them into using this. Easy. We got the pole arms here. Generally speaking, pole arms are either movement based, like, you know, this makes you move more, this does more damage the more you've moved, so on and so forth, or to have some sort of weird combat art. Also, that tends to move enemies around, like this pulls you and the enemy back, this shoves them away, so on and so forth. Axes, now axes are where I think the devs just sort of dumped all their ideas that didn't fit into the swords or the pole arms or the bows. So you got weird stuff like this devil axe over here. Once you attack with it, you got you're gonna get crit, which is bad. So don't actually use this unless you're sure you're gonna just kill with it. Oh, home run bad. This one's funny. Bonus crit damage to complement the bonus crit chance on the sword. Other funky stuff here. The massive axe, basically just an even bigger power axe that does half damage on miss. Stuff like that. So, finally we get to the bows of the non-magical items, and bows, very straightforward. They have extra range, look at that. 2 to 3 times the range of a melee weapon, sometimes 2 to 4. And a lot of them do status ailments. But if you want to do pure DPS bow stuff, that's totally fine. Just pick up like an arms reaver or something. Because melee weapons hit bows and magic with bonus accuracy. It's like a little balance thing, you know? Alright, and then now we get to the stuff that most people think is fun. But not me, because I like swords. So we got some light magic here. You got your classics, your healing, your lowering aggro. This one's actually pretty cool. If someone, you know, messed up, they overextend a little bit, you can just shirk them. They'll be, enemies will roll right past them as long as there's someone else around to hit. We also have some aura stuff, you know, we got this like shield aura thing. These are kind of expensive for how much damage they do, but that's because their main job is to provide the aura. You actually don't want to fight too much with these. You want to stay in melee range, but not like fight directly. Kind of like you ever play D&D and the clerics are all heavily armored? Yeah, it's sort of like that. For some healers, you know, our people just stay back. It's whatever, personal preference. Native magic, this is your elemental stuff. The elements don't matter to most people. Some classes have synergies, like, you know, fire mage stuff. This one, however, matters to everyone. You can soak some with salt water and then electrocute them. So this is some Pokemon stuff, you know, electric beats water type. Yeah, you can just reinvent that. And finally, dark magic. when I said axes were where the devs ran out ideas for martial weapons, this is where the devs ran out ideas for magic weapons and just made up a bunch of weird stuff. It's like the basic one, flex, you know, -2 defense on hit. You don't think that's too bad. Then you get down, it's like a beckon. You pull someone closer, and then while they're within one range of you, they have some sort of absurd debuff. So that's already weird. Why are you pulling someone closer to you as a mage? And you got shift, which swaps places with someone. Far gaze, hit at exactly range 5. Contagion, this one's funny. You give yourself and the person you hit a disease, and that disease spreads to everyone adjacent to both of you constantly. Never use this. You'll get your party mad. Finally, we got, you know, stuff like the fog. You can break line of sight. There's actually some maps where you have to use this. Pity to those who don't have a dark mage, because dark mages are actually kind of rare, so yeah. I don't know how to get past that. And finally, you got some items going on. So you might notice one of these items is grayed out. And that's because, actually, items operate just like weapons in Magic. You have to have a certain rank to use them. This goes for your accessories as well. So I'll get into how you rank up and stuff like that in a moment. In a very quick moment, too, because, oh, this one's funny. Pet Rock. -50 hit, +50 crit. If you can build around this, you're God. If not, never take this. Here we go. So we get to the bottom. We have some scrolls. Scrolls increase your ranks and stuff. You can see they cost 10 gold. But they also cost memory, and we'll get to that in a moment. And finally, there's some skills you can buy. These also cost memory. So they sort of like, you gotta get weapon ranks or skills. You usually want to get like the weapons you need and then get skills to help you out. Mix and match sort of thing. But they compete with each other for memory. So that's important to note. So now we've looked at that. There's going to be a bunch of stuff I just explained that you don't really know about. And we're going to go over the rest of that. So if we look at my stats here, we can see I got some power and some memory. Basically, your power always got to be less than or equal to 4 times your level. So every time you level up, you get 4 more power. And with power, you can increase your stats, which I'll show you in a moment. And your memory always has to be less than your level. So everything that costs memory costs 5 memory. Meaning at level 5, you can get a weapon rank or a skill. At level 10, you can get a weapon rank or a skill. So on and so forth. And mana is usually 10. And now we're going to look at the skills over here. As you can see, this isn't a lot of skills for an MMO type thing. But that's because the items tend to make up your standard, you know, what you do in combat. And the skills are kind of more supplementary. Although there are some classes that are very heavily skill based. So, you know, it's a kind of push and pull there. So, you know, I got some melee DPS-y stuff. Bonus damage can't be countered. Dodge more. Attack more. Crit more. Basic stuff. And I also bought Soul Steal so I could actually get some mana back. Because unless you're a mage, you don't get mana back normally. Because in exchange, like, you know, this sort of thing would be kind of OP on a mage. But if you're like a melee or even a ranged DPS, you get more burst options in exchange for not getting your mana back. So, you know, your team's generally going to be balanced between people who can spend and regenerate mana and people who burst really hard. So now we get into the fun part, which is actually buying your stats. So, you know, the party shares like an amount. Right now I got 20 gold for me to spend. You know, most parties I imagine will be like they spend as a party, but now we're doing things the individualistic way here. So, because I just leveled up to 16, I got 60 out of 64 power. That means I can get 4 more power. Every stat you raise increases your power by 1. If you raise your HP, that increases your HP by 2, but your power by 1, because HP is like worth less, so they give you more of it. And then the gold costs are also more expensive for your defensive stuff, because, you know, if you buy a lot of defenses, you can just sort of tank through everything, and that's no fun. So, just to demonstrate here, I'm gonna just buy a bunch of strength, and then, oh, I probably should reset that. I'm not sure I really wanted to just buy a ton of strength. Kind of locked in there. That's whatever. It'll be fine. Anyway, finally, we got the codex over here. You know, you can take notes and stuff. So there's always this glossary that tells you what all the different keywords mean if you come across something that you don't recognize. This one's important. If you see a red number, it's a regular, you know, you use it and your turn ends. You're put on cooldown, stuff like that. And this one's kind of like, if it's, you see a blue number, if you ever played Final Fantasy 14, like off GCD stuff, basically you can use this and then do something else and you're still totally fine. You sort of just think about it real hard, you know, instead of actually doing something with your body, and it's instantaneous. So yeah, you generally want to do your blue stuff and then your red stuff. Once you do your red stuff, you can't do your blue stuff. Or you might just want to do blue stuff and no red stuff. Sometimes you just want to set up a stance and walk away or something, you know? Yeah, so, like I said, we're not really going to be going into the gameplay right now. But, you know, tune in next time, and maybe we will. Or if you want to try the game out yourself. Now, I think there should be a link below in the description. So, yeah. Alright. Finally done streaming for the day. Woo! I put the Cheez-Its. There we go. Just see what's going on FE Universe. Huh. Hey. You know, I wonder what Fish was doing earlier. Fish?
This is the guy, Jeff?
Yep. Clarence Cho, age 28. Dead on the scene. The boy said it was asphyxiation.
There's nothing but chips and instant noodles down here.
Yeah, I mean, you can check on the news, you know, if you eat them too fast.
So, he was playing the game?
Yep, real you online addict. Had a Twitch account with 4 subs and everything.
That's how you know it's serious. So is it related to the real PKer?
We don't know. This is the first actual body that's turned up.
You really think it's a coincidence?
Yeah, sure. Is what I'd like to say. But the chief was eager to have this case closed. A little too eager.
What do you mean?
Well, you ever see instant noodles leave handshake bruises on the neck?
It must have been a tough noodle. So, you're saying the department's not going to let us take this any further?
I don't think so. Their guy's gonna call it a suicide and leave it at that. They said they even found a note.
You don't think the note was real?
I didn't even get to see it. The only reason they let a cybercrimes guy like me in was because I said there might have been something to look at on his laptop.
Jeff, this thing is destroyed.
Well, I mean, you can look at the hard drive, right? So, what are you gonna do now, Harry?
Guess I'll retire.
What?
If the chief's coming down on us, there's nothing more I can do. Time to just hand him a badge, maybe pick up video gaming. I hear Real You Online is good.
Well, I don't think the chief's gonna like that.
What's he gonna do? I'll be retired. If I make it as far as this guy did, and the real PK comes after me, well...
Well, I know you don't want to hear it from me, but what happened to your daughter?
We're not gonna talk about that.
Alright, but stay safe, you know? No one would be happy if something should happen to you.
I'll be an old retired guy. Worst thing that'll happen to me is I'll fall down the stairs and I need a hip replacement.
You know, maybe I'll play the game too.
You have time for that?
I'll get the whole department in on it. A little team building exercise or something. Besides, you heard something about the whole Rathian data leak thing? I'll just say I'm being proactive about getting evidence.
Yeah, just don't go getting fired. I might need a guy on the inside when I figure this thing out.
Some retirement.